So you said your controller settings were on what now?
Default, and then I just have X and A, or X and A, X and circle as the
Okay.
paddles.
Can you play tactical?
Yeah, I was playing tactical.
Okay, I would highly advise playing tactical. Button layout.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh really?
Yeah. Tactical is definitely the way to go.
Yo, Graham, not to cut you off from anything, right? Do you recommend? So I run SMG. Do you recommend dynamic, or do you recommend standard for the aim curve?
Dynamic. It doesn't matter if you're running SMG, AR, or whatever. Your aim response curve type should always be on dynamic.
Yeah.
Okay, and what about like legacy or standard? I run standard, but people do
Standard.
say legacy.
Target aim
Okay,
assist
cool.
mode needs to be on standard. I mean,
Okay, cool.
that's just me, and that's a lot of people in the pro scene. We run these settings. If you, for whatever reason, have tried all of them, thoroughly, and you like a different one better, you just play better with it, then definitely go with that one. But if you want like
Yeah.
the gold standard, it's dynamic and standard.
All right, cool.
Pretty sure Legacy is like
Appreciate
Modern
that.
Warfare's aim assist.
Yeah,
definitely like that.
Warzone. It's Warzone's aim assist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So horizontal and vertical stick sensitivity, what are you working with, Triz?
6.
6.6.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, yeah, it's about right.
I switched to 6 like yesterday.
Let's see.
You run 6.6
Do you
too?
flip L2 and R2?
I do not.
I have the elite controller, Grim. Do I need to do that? I feel like I don't because I got the aim, like the trigger resistors on.
Okay, the trigger resistors, does it make it so that you don't have to pull it down all the way?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, for mine it does.
So
It does.
You do have to pull it down all the way.
No, you don't.
Oh, you don't.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's got
nah,
trigger lock.
mine-
It's got trigger lock.
Somebody's echoing, by the way. Just want to throw that out there.
I
I don't know who it is.
don't know who
I
it is
don't hear
either.
any echoes.
Yeah, I got my audio off too.
Let's see. Who's echoing?
Oh, you know what? It could be my game chat.
Yeah.
Could be. Let me just double check.
But yeah, like the trigger resistors on my controller, like I literally just got to tap and it goes right down.
Okay, cool. All right, that's fine then. If you don't have those, if you don't have a controller with that, if you like Triz, if you have like a base PS4 controller, I would go ahead and flip those.
Flip it?
Yeah,
Okay.
so flip L2, R2 with L1, R1. That's something you're gonna have to get used to. It is different. Like if you've been playing with the bottom triggers this whole time, and you switch over to flipped, it'll be kind of awkward at first. You're gonna have to it's gonna be uncomfortable for your hands and how you grip the controller. But you can get used to it, and the reason why you're doing that is just to reduce latency. Because that's a really long trigger pull. If you don't have I have a scuff controller which did with the mouse click triggers. So I can.
Those are dream.
Yeah, this is.
Damn, that's what I'm trying to
my
get.
fucking scuff is pimped out, dude. Not gonna lie. Aside from that, yeah, 6.6 is pretty standard. If you have controller vibration, go ahead and turn that off. Do you have
Aim assist is 1-1, right?
what do you mean? You talking about ADS stick sensitivity?
Yeah.
So I actually have 1 and 1.1. So my low zoom is 1 and my high zoom is 1.1.
Yeah, mine's 1.3.
Yeah, it all depends. I mean, that really only matters really if you were using a sniper rifle. But
Okay.
if you're an SMG or an AR, you don't have to worry about that.
My question is, if you have paddles, why should you play tactical?
So if you have paddles, right? So let's just go if you're not using tactical, right? You're using default. So if you're using default, that means you press circle to crouch, and you.
Yeah, so I'm clicking my paddle to crouch.
Right. So it's not about what you press to crouch. It's about what you need to map your paddles to. Okay. See, if you have 2 paddles, which 2 paddles honestly I think is the perfect thing. I don't think 4 paddles is honestly.
Yeah, 4 paddles is ridiculous.
I've tried to figure out a mapping, but I can't even comfortably use more than 2 paddles.
Yeah, so in my opinion, 2 paddles, that's like the best thing. And so if the kind of like the standard with these 2 paddles is the left paddle, you want that to be your jump button, and your right paddle, you want that to be your melee button. Okay.
Okay.
You want to crouch by clicking that right stick, and you want to melee by pressing that right paddle or circle or B if you're using an Xbox controller.
That's Envoy's control set.
Yeah, that's
that's
a lot
crazy.
of
I
control
use
set. Yeah.
For my right paddle, I use slide, and then for my left paddle, I use jump.
Yeah. So here's the thing. you're going to be sliding a lot more than you're going to be meleeing, okay? And I'm going to tell you right now, it's a lot easier to slide with the stick than it is with the paddle, okay? The way that
Gotcha.
I play, I hardly ever have to use my right paddle, but when I do, it's ergonomic enough to where I can do it without even hesitating, right? But
Yeah,
it would be kind of uncomfortable for me personally to use my right paddle as much as I use my left paddle. My left paddle I'm using a lot because I'm jumping with that, okay? But
gotcha,
with my right paddle, that's kind of be like, just for emergencies. Okay, you should be
gotcha.
sliding, and sliding is huge. You should be doing that with your right stick. Okay.
It's like it's a lot. Yeah, that's mainly why I said to the paddle though. I don't want to wear out my fucking thumbstick by constantly
Well, I don't know if you're gonna be
like.
sliding that much. How much are you sliding? I've
It's
okay.
fair.
I've gone through before I got
I
my
just had
scuff.
yeah.
I've gone
I
through
have
like 3 controllers. Okay, and I started playing competitive like at the beginning of Modern Warfare season, right? And so since that time, I've gone through 3 controllers, and all 3 controllers have been for the exact same reason, and it was because my left stick started fucking up, right? My
yeah.
run stick, not my aim stick. So my
Yeah, it's
aim
from
stick's been,
constantly
yeah,
clicking in that fucking stick from sprinting.
yeah.
I had the same shit when I was playing NHL.
Exactly. So that, I mean, honestly, I'm glad that in Modern Warfare, I mean, in Cold War, there's no tactical sprint, so you don't have to touch it twice.
Yeah, twice. Yeah,
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was nice. And so
That was just a controller breaker.
I know, and so I went through so many controllers like that, but not once ever. And I slide canceled a lot more in Modern Warfare than I do in Cold War. And my right stick never gave out, so I think you're gonna be fine mapping your
Fair enough.
slide
Fair
to
enough.
the right stick.
Yeah. So I have mine I have mine on tactical, but I have it so I click B to melee and I still click my paddle to crouch.
Okay.
It's like you don't melee a whole lot, do you?
No, I
Really?
don't. That's why I use my right paddle for that.
Yeah, that's why I have it set to B because like you actually have to go a little bit out of the way to click B.
And the thing is, if you do, I've noticed that back before I had paddles, if I wanted to melee, I could not melee and look at the same time. I had to make sure I aimed my face just right so that whenever I move my thumb off of the
That's true.
stick to press B,
Yeah, that's
I
actually
wasn't gonna
true.
miss my melee. So when you're doing your melees, you don't want to look away. So you wanna stay locked on your target, especially because if you guys are running like right next to each other, you're gonna be running around in circles. You're gonna have to turn a lot. So if you
Gotcha.
have your
Yeah.
melee button mapped to that right paddle, you can keep your thumb on the stick and aim with
Okay.
that. Okay.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
it
I was
does
just
make
thinking more
sense.
so like for like like the shot punch purpose. I think that's the only reason I would really melee for the most part.
Well, honestly, I do the shot punch. I do the shot punch all the time, and just pulling
Yeah.
the trigger with my index finger and then meleeing with my middle finger on the paddle. It works just as well, if not better, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mhm. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Do you guys have airborne mantle behavior on manual or automatic?
I literally just moved it to manual.
Okay, yeah, that needs to be on manual, and my recommendation is to do grounded mantle behavior on press, not double press.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
All right, hold on a
that's
second.
gonna
Let me.
make it so
How do I
that
find this shit? Controller gameplay.
by default, if you have it on automatic, if you jump and in midair you hit a mantle, you maybe want to plan that, but if you don't for whatever reason feel like if you have no intention to mantle something next to you and you just want to take a jump shot maybe or jump to see what's going on, it'll accidentally mantle you over. That's why you want to do it on you want to make that mantle behavior manual, and you want to do it on press so that you have to jump and then press once. You have to press jump again while you're in midair to initiate that mantle. So it just makes it
Gotcha.
more deliberate. You don't. I've died so many times to using automatic mantle.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It sucks.
And
So
you can't.
manual
There's a couple.
airborne and grounded. Grounded is on press.
Yes, on press.
There's a couple spots that you can't get to with automatic mantle too, like that spot on Garrison, like right where the satellite is, like them little like roadblocks. You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
Yeah, the heady dash he was
Yeah,
using.
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's see. I think that's about it. What's your right stick minimum input threshold on?
Mine's on 10, but it's only because of my controller.
Okay, so the rule of thumb for that is if you can possibly get that lower, for both, honestly, left and right stick minimum input threshold. The maximum should both be on 99, but the minimums for both of those, you want to essentially get those as low as possible without experiencing stick drift. So
Yeah,
if you have you just whatever you can find to be the kind of like the silver lining between stick drift and the lowest possible threshold. That's what you want to use. So I have mine on 2 and 2. So a lot of people put their left
You
stick
have
min.
no stick drift on 2-2.
That's
No, I have
crazy,
no.
bro.
I have a little bit, but just barely, just barely.
That's insane.
That's 'cause he
I'm
has a
gonna try
scuff.
that. I'm gonna try that and see what kind of stick drift I get.
Yeah.
Bro, I have
Then
I'm
again,
terrible
I've
stick
only
drift
had
with
this.
two.
I've only had my scuff controller for like a month.
That's
Oh,
fair.
okay.
I've had this controller for a little bit.
I'm gonna turn mine down to 8.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, I had stick drift with 6. I tried 6, it was bad. So I
Yeah,
was just like,
that's
alright.
another thing. If you don't want to constantly have to buy new controllers because you get stick drift, just invest in a Scuff or a Battle Beaver or something, some kind of pro controller.
Yeah, and my next
Yeah.
one's definitely a scuff.
Yeah, I highly recommend Scuff. Scuff's amazing.
Okay, I have it on
Yeah.
0.
There
but
is a
I don't
way
know if
to,
I
like,
have a drift.
Clean your sticks. Like I've taken apart my old controllers, like, and cleaned the actual contact points of the thumbsticks.
Yeah, I had to do that not too long ago.
I had to do that a couple times, and it would kind of like, it would fix the problem temporarily, but then it would, the problem would come
It
back.
comes back, yeah.
So, yeah,
Especially if dust gets on your triggers, that shit fucks with it bad.
exactly. So I think that's about it as far as controller goes. Audio.
Damn, I'm so mad, bro. I just spent last week trying to fucking do this shit.
That's fine.
Default versus tactical. I was
Nah,
on
man,
the whole
tactical is the way to go.
Tactical is definitely the way
If
to
I
go,
heard,
yeah.
if I was in the pro scene and I heard somebody was like, someone in the pro scene say I use default, I like think they're a clown.
Yo, Scump actually uses default, bro.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A lot of them use default actually, but they have
also play
these
claw.
paddles.
Yeah, a lot of
So it's
pros,
not really
a
default.
lot of pros do use the 4 paddle setup just because I think the 4 paddle setup has been around a lot longer, and so that's like kind of like the traditional, setup, and so they're probably used to that. For me though, I only have 2 paddles. I'm sure he could get away with using default if he has 4 paddles, because even if he wants to use something, he doesn't have to take his thumb off the stick regardless, because he has 4 paddles. But if you're playing 2 paddles, then tactical. That I don't see any reason to use default default.
Grim, do you recommend claw?
No, I did not.
Okay, thank you. Oh my god. I thought you were about to say that next.
If you're good with it, it's a lot of people are really fucking insane with claw.
Yeah, if you,
Yeah,
but
if
my
you
girl's
already
little brother
know-
plays claw.
If you already know how to play claw and you can clap with that, then fucking go
but
by all
don't try and
means.
teach yourself.
But
Alright, yeah,
don't
I'm
go
not
out
gonna
of
try
your
to learn it
way
then.
to save some money just so you can, give yourself arthritis at an early age. So, I would just, save up a little money, invest in
Yo,
stuff.
I literally
I'm definitely
can't.
gonna scuff.
I can't even fucking like reach my B button if I play claw.
Yo, me either, bro. Honestly.
Hell no, dude. I tried that long
That shit
time ago.
looks
It's not gonna
It
work.
looks so uncomfortable.
That's insane.
I'm gonna invite you all to my lobby so we can get this
Cool.
going. Trizzy, let's see who else. Zersk. Yeah, and then Lucky. I don't think I have you added actually.
Oh shit.
Wait, why did I join? Wait, what?
I could just join up on Zersky.
Okay, yeah, join up on him.
Oh, join up on Jersey?
No, join up on me, but Zerski's gonna join up on me.
Oh, okay, sure.
And then Lucky's just gonna join up on Zersky after Zersky's in here.
Yeah.
Where did Grim go? It says you're not online. Hold on.
Should be.
Oh, here we
Why
go.
did you?
Okay.
I'll invite Lucky. Cool.
Coming in, Royal?
Oh, Arsenal's here too.
Yeah, Royal.
How many
Sure.
people are in here?
6.
6? Damn, okay. Who's all talking? I know that's Zersky, Trizzy, and who's the other guy?
And Lucky.
Lucky,
Lucky.
right? Okay, so Arsenal and Royal aren't talking?
No, I'm here.
Oh, you are?
Apologies.
Okay, okay. Just make sure.
I hear you in game chat too, Royal, by the way.
You hear me again?
Okay, before we get started, I'm just gonna let everyone know what their classes should look like, just in case. Does anyone have any questions about what meta classes look like?
Grim, can I just tell you my class and you just tell me if it's A-okay or not?
Sure. Okay, you're an
Okay.
SMG, right?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I run the 74, I
Yeah.
run the Spetnaz Compensator, I run the 9.3 Extended, Spetnaz
Weapons
speed
free.
grip,
You are cleared to
Drew elastic
engage.
wrap, and KGB skeletal.
Yeah, that's the gold standard right now for AK-74.
Alright, cool.
Secondary, you're only allowed to use a Diamatti. So
Yeah.
use a Diamatti.
You can run a knife too, can't you?
If you can run a knife, that'd be
Oh,
sick.
yeah.
Honestly,
I
didn't
think
even
you
think of
can.
that. I didn't even think
I
of that.
think I'm pretty sure you can.
I don't
Because
know.
I
I'll
got
have to try
fucked
that out.
up one day when I was doing this game. But I mean, they could have been bullshitting. So
Okay, let's meet up
Chrissy,
in the
what are
middle.
you doing?
Okay, so movement, right? So yeah, you guys. It looks like you guys all know how to slide cancel.
Yeah.
Does anyone not
Yeah.
know how to slide cancel? Do I have to teach someone how to do that?
No, but go over it anyway.
Okay, yeah. So slide canceling. I mean, well, slide canceling just goes. It just comes into play when it comes to breaking cameras. So I mean, I'm just gonna break this down. All right. When you engage somebody, you can engage them in one of two ways. All right. No matter what, if you're engaging somebody, whether you're shooting at them or they're shooting at you, it's either one of these two ways, and that's either you see him and he doesn't see you, or you both see each other. Okay. So if you see him and he doesn't see you, that's like you should. There's no reason you should not kill him. Okay. Getting turned on, I think, is really embarrassing. It's something that I am super self-critical about. If I start shooting someone first and he turns and kills me, then I'm doing something wrong. Okay.
Yeah, I'm the same way, bro.
So that's, I mean,
Yeah.
that one out of two, that one is kind of just, it's pretty simple. Just if he doesn't see you, you see him, kill him. Okay. Now the one that everyone needs to work on, or we need to talk about, is the other type of engagement. An engagement where you're both looking at each other, you're both in each other's camera, or you both will be once you start shooting at each other, right? So what you need to do, you need to understand, is that shooting at someone and your aim and your gunplay, that's one thing. That is 50% of what's going to make up whether or not you lose or win that engagement, and the other 50% is what you do on defense, right? And so defense is how you move, and that's kind of what this whole thing is about. So you can't. It's not good enough to have cracked aim. Okay, because everyone in comp is going to have cracked aim. You have to have cracked movement as well. So in order to do that, is as soon as you start engaging, right, your gunplay is going to go right on. You're going to start shooting at them, and then as soon as that happens, you also need to start moving. You need to be moving. So when you move, the best, kind of like the thing that you need to think about doing when you move is breaking their camera. Does everyone know what that is? Does anyone not know what that means?
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
like it's hard to explain. Like
It's
basically
like
they
it's
just can't see
changing.
you.
It's
Yeah,
changing
like-
your hitbox, right?
Yeah, like for
Yeah.
a split second they can't see you type shit.
It's not necessarily about like a hitbox or anything like that. It's just pretty much whenever you are going to commence.
Yeah, it catches them off guard. I can stop like
whenever
right
you're
here.
going to initiate,
I can slide all the way through.
you're gonna go ahead and consciously choose to put yourself into their screen, right? You're gonna let them see you. You're gonna do so in a manner that's gonna be,
Like sporadic,
the hardest to detect and the most surprising as possible. So if, say for instance, if someone was sitting right here, did I just? Oh my god! I think I. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. So if someone's standing right there, right, looking this way, and I know he's right here, and he's waiting for me, like he's peeking this corner, just waiting for me to push. I'm not just gonna burger walk around here and then just get shot by him. Okay. I can either slide cancel,
Bolt right into him and
or
fuck
I
him
can,
up.
I can jump shot. Right. If he's that close and he's crouched, honestly, it might even be better
Yo.
to jump over. Right.
I would ledge slide this shit.
Yeah. So when you're gonna push out, into an open line of sight or out to like an open area, pretty much past the corner. So this is what I would call pushing out. Say there's bad guys over there, and you're gonna push out this way. That's a pushing out maneuver. You want to do so in a number of ways. If you know how many people there are, that's great. But if not, then oh well. Sometimes you still have to push. You just wanna, if you're gonna choose to slide cancel or ledge slide, the thing you should be doing is slide canceling and then moving back. Okay, a lot of people slide cancel and then they keep on
shit.
going.
Yeah, that's smart as fuck.
You gotta
bro.
you gotta think of your opponent's aim. You gotta think of it as like a kind of a grip. They have a grip on you. Okay. And no matter which way you move, your body is gonna act like a magnet for their aim. But if you strafe or if you start switching direction, what that's going to do is going to throw their aim off for a split second. Okay, and that split second is going to be the determining factor on who wins that gunfight. Okay, so just think of it like this. Okay, look at the ground here. I'm going to pretend like I'm tracking a target on the ground. I'm going to start shooting the ground like this, and then if my target, if my target stops moving right here, and I shot these 3 rounds over here, then that's like a split second that he wasn't taking shots and he was putting rounds onto me, and that's honestly what's going to kill me. So that's what you need to be thinking about. You need to be thinking about moving around to avoid getting shot and throwing their aim off as much as possible. And the best way of doing that is by doing some sort of strafing maneuver, whether that's slide canceling out into the open and strafing backwards, or that's literally if it was like a longer range engagement. And this is honestly how I, even with an SMG, I can still, I can hold my own against, the AR players or the flex players. Is that when I'm here, I'm strafing, okay? Is because it's constantly throwing their aim off. And honestly, you got to change up the tempo a little bit too. You can't just be strafing like the same tempo each time. They're going to get used to that. So being as absolutely unpredictable with your movement as possible, that is going to guarantee you not getting shot. Does that make sense?
Gotcha.
Okay. So breaking cameras, okay? In this game, in Call of Duty, I'm pretty sure it's with this game too, but I'm also pretty sure it's every Call of Duty.
Greg, you know you could use this as a example to break cameras right here, right?
Which one?
So what?
Like if you have somebody like on this side trying to slide cancel, like put somebody, yeah,
Who's talking right
like where it just was.
Ours.
now? Oh, Ars is talking? Okay.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, so that's just another, I mean, especially this map in particular, especially when we first start, if I spawned on this side, what is this? What house is this? I don't know. If I spawn on this side and I come here, I know that people are going to be looking from the garage. So I kind of hug this. Like, right here. You can't see me, right? And if I'm gonna cross through here, I'm definitely just gonna slide cancel. If I want to peek again, I'm gonna come back the way. I'm gonna cross first and then peek. I'm not just gonna start peeking like this. All right.
Gotcha. Yeah,
that's
that
something
sense.
I do kind of frequently. Is I don't know what it's called. I call it double dipping. All right. So if you see somebody, right, whether or not you knew they were there, if you see someone as you're coming out somewhere and then you go back behind cover, they're either going to wait for you to push out again, or they're going to pursue you, or they're going to run away. So most of the time, they're going to pursue you, especially if you flee in a manner that makes them think, oh, he's trying to run. They're going to start pursuing. If they start pursuing, you've got them right where you want them. As soon as you cross that corner, jump out again and start hitting him as soon as he starts running after you, and that's usually going to kill him immediately. All right. That's that's what I call double dipping. Let's see what else. If you're that person, say you're the person who saw a guy go behind a corner, you got to understand they're going to do one of a number of things. They can either continue going where they were going, they can push out again and hit you and double dip you like I told you to do, or they're gonna just stay there. All right. So what I would do normally in this situation is if he's absolute, then maybe I would pursue. But the thing is, you have to have your centering on point. You got to kind of have to be ready because he might push out at any second. Anticipate him to push out. All right. Usually, I don't choose to pursue. Okay. Another big thing is knowing that's related to this is knowing when you should disengage. Okay. You might be even winning a gunfight, but if you got to understand when those circumstances are, you need to say, okay, this would be too risky for me to pursue or try to pursue this gunfight or extend it any longer. I'm going to run away. So when I said he's either going to stay here and hold that line or he's going to pursue, you could do a third option, which is something what I do is I just run away somewhere else. I just say fuck that, go away. I'm not going to be there waiting for him, and I'm not going to go chow him. So go somewhere else. Go push a different lane. That's one thing I do a lot on checkmate is if I right off the rip, I go straight up airplane. And I try to see if I can, in the first few seconds, get a pick or an easy pick or two. And if I can't, I immediately just say, fuck it, I'm going out. I get onto the wing, and I push outside. And I go up the enemy's ramp. And then I hit him with a flank. Okay? So that's usually what I do. So know when to disengage, when to pursue. That's a big thing. It all comes down to your judgment and your confidence in your movement and your gunplay. Does anyone not know what ledge sliding is?
I don't really necessarily
it's so
know.
fucking fun.
Yeah, ledge sliding, it's honestly a blast, but who's that, Zersky? You don't know what ledge sliding is? Okay, Zersky, follow me over here. Okay, so the other guys know what ledge sliding is, but this is something that's inherent to Cold War and not Modern Warfare, but it is a huge, like, kind of like a broken mechanic that is something that you can use to, like, seriously, like, rape
Wait, hold
somebody's
on, Grim.
keyboard.
Not to cut you off, but are you talking about this? Hold on.
Yeah, that's ledge sliding.
Okay, all right, yeah.
So, I mean, you can do it in a multitude of ways. You can pretty much find any. I want you to, like, you gotta kind of like think of Cold War maps, okay, like a skater would. All right, just think of what could I possibly ledge slide
Yeah,
off of.
exactly.
I used to skateboard, so
exactly.
that's
So
funny.
I still skate, so I
Yo,
I love
even
to
like
skate.
even rails you can ledge slide on.
Yeah, you can ledge slide pretty much on anything. Um,
Anything that's at like shin level.
and if you can combo that with trying to break someone's camera, they almost will not have a chance. If you, as long as you are, your centering is on point as soon as you hit that ledge slide, all that kind of good stuff. Does anyone not know what centering is?
Yeah, no, I know what that is.
You don't know what that is? Okay, so Xerxes.
No, I do know. I
Oh,
do
you
know.
do,
I
you
do
do,
know
you
this.
do.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah.
Oh,
Does
hey,
anyone
Glenn,
not?
real quick question.
Go
I
ahead.
forgot to ask you this.
Yeah.
When you were talking about slide canceling,
Yeah.
which one do you use?
What do you mean?
Do you use the slide jump? Is that, or do you slide aim jump?
So the way I slide cancel is I'll start running, slide, cancel that slide, and then I'll
Aim,
jump
aim, aim.
and I'll jump to stand up and then aim, right? Like that.
Yo, hold up.
Yo, if hang on,
I just
can
found some broken shit, yo. You know, if
Yeah, like
you
short-
if you hold in the left trigger and then slide and aim, you slide cancel. Like you
Stand
don't
up
even have to. Yeah, like
Yeah, so if you hold down sprint and slide and then aim in, your guy stands
Yeah.
up immediately.
yep.
My guy doesn't
That's why,
stand up
yo,
when I do that.
that's why auto sprint is actually GA'd.
Either way, you gotta kind of time it with when you know you're going to anticipate seeing the guy
Yeah,
on your
of
screen.
course,
right? So honestly, when I slide cancel around a corner or try to break someone's camera, I'm never worrying about the order in which I'm aiming or jumping out of the slide. I just kind of know how to feel it.
Okay.
I just, if I know I need to aim in sooner, I'm gonna start that aim sooner. If I'm going to need to, time it to where I slide out a little bit more before I start aiming, then that works too. So honestly, it doesn't matter. You just gotta get better at centering when it comes to slide canceling, especially because if you're slide canceling, right, you're running in a straight line, you go past a corner, and then you have to turn at that corner to engage whatever's over there. So that comes with timing. So you don't want to like sacrifice any distance on your slide cancel sometimes, but you also want to get on target as soon as possible. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And yes, just don't forget that strafing thing I told you. As soon as you're done, slide canceling, just continue moving. You don't ever want to sit still ever. Honestly, never. Just never sit still. Unless you're an AR, then you have to. But if you're an SMG, if you're not running literally the whole game, then yeah, that could be improved.
Okay, so you do. All right. That's what I need to improve on then.
Okay, does anyone?
I do run a lot, but I don't run enough. I feel like I do need.
Honestly,
to
I have like this mental timer in my head. If I find myself sitting static for too long, it starts to stress me out and give me anxiety. So if you feel that
Yeah.
same way, that's gonna definitely benefit you. You shouldn't be
Alright, cool.
you shouldn't be sitting around too much. As an SMG, your mobility is your greatest asset, and if you're not utilizing that as much as you possibly can, then it's you're not playing to the fullest of your capacity.
Right.
I don't know what else. Does everyone know how to YY and what that does?
No, what does that do? I hear that a lot, but I don't know what it does.
Okay, so YY or triangle in PS4 terms, it's
That's what they're doing.
it's you do that real fast and you switch gun. It's pretty much switching to your secondary and back to your primary as fast as you can. But what that does, I use that all the time, and I want to say half the time it's a nervous tick, and the other half the time it's actually me using it. So I'm gonna just break down what times I use it, and that's every time I reload, I'm always YY. Okay, now you gotta understand when it comes
Yeah,
to
it stops the
reloading.
animation.
When it comes to reloading, there's two types of reloads that you could possibly do, right? There is, and this is not just in Call of. This is just my knowledge of firearms as well. Okay, if you are shooting, you're dumping your magazine, and you completely run out of all your ammo, and you have none in the chamber, none in the magazine, you're gonna conduct what's called an emergency reload. Okay, if you can, avoid getting into an emergency reload at all costs. Okay, obviously sometimes you just can't avoid that, and you're just gonna have to go into an emergency reload. The other kind of reload is whenever you still have rounds in the magazine, maybe one in the chamber. Okay, as long as you have one round in the chamber still, you can perform what's called a tactical reload. Okay, a tactical reload is when you just change your mag to a fresh one, and you don't have to charge your gun into battery again. Does that make sense? Everyone know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do know that. Yeah,
Okay,
got you.
so the difference is all a matter of how fast you can reload. If you have to go into a tactical reload, then it's going to be just take the old mag out, put the new mag in, done. Okay, but if you have to go into an emergency reload, you have to take the old mag out, put the new mag in, and then you have to charge your gun, which is an additional couple of milliseconds that it takes. That's when, honestly, when you're doing an emergency reload, that is when YYing comes into play the most, is because I want everyone to watch this. Okay, watch what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna dump my. I'm gonna just do a tactical reload. Okay, and I'm gonna YY. Oh no, sorry. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do an emergency reload. I'm not gonna YY. I just want you to see how long it takes to reload. Okay. This is the again emergency reload. No YY. That's no YY. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna dump every single round out of my gun, but I'm gonna YY. As soon as I see my ammo counter hit 30, I can YY, and it's actually gonna skip that charging animation. Okay, that charging handle animation. So check this out. Done. Okay.
Oh shit.
So that's a great way you can save time, get your gun back up, and into the fight. Okay.
Oh shit. Yo, that saves hella time. That's crazy.
Oh shit!
Yo. That's broken.
Yeah.
He said that's broken.
That's
So
nuts.
that honestly, that split second you'd be saving, you could be in the middle of a gunfight with
Dude,
somebody.
that's gonna save me so many gunfights.
Yeah,
Like,
and if you both
Yeah,
go into
I
reload at the same time and he doesn't know how to do that, then you're easily gonna take the last shot on him. You know. Let's see. And other times I use YY is you know, after I'm done, you know, like if I do a slide cancel, sometimes I'll YY. I just honestly I can't tell whether I'm doing that to be, you know, skillful or doing that just because it's a nervous tick. But anytime I need to just get my, you know, get back and anticipate a gunfight, doing a YY never hurt anyone. Usually what that does is it just gets you ready to get your gun down range onto a target. YY. You don't want to do it too much because at the end of the day you are taking your thumb off of your stick. But YY usually doesn't take that long. You just gotta, you know, you gotta choose your battles with the YY, you know.
Yeah.
yeah.
Alright. Does anyone have any questions at all? The next thing I gotta go into is like specific maps, so I gotta take us out of this game and bring us into like a checkmate or something.
Yo, I spent all my money, or all my ammo trying to do the YYs. I got no ammo left.
Alright, let's get out of here.
Somebody had a trophy down.
Going to Garrison. Just gonna run the
Alright.
same thing. Okay.
Yo, Grim, how long have you said you've been playing comp since Modern Warfare?
Yeah, right before the Modern Warfare season started, I started playing comp.
Gotcha. It's kind of like the same situation with me right now with Cold War.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know. I
How
noticed
old are
a
you?
lot of you guys are. How old am I?
Yeah.
I'm 21. About to turn 22.
Oh shit, that's crazy, bro.
You were playing comp at the start of Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
So like when you were like 9 years old.
No. Modern Warfare.
No,
the
he's
last
talking about
game,
last-
the
the
last
last
game.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like Call of Duty 4.
Nah,
like,
nah,
the
nah,
Modern
nah, nah,
Warfare
nah, nah,
trilogy.
nah. I mean, don't get
I
me
was
wrong.
like, bro,
I was
I'm older
playing
than
Call of
you,
Duty.
what?
I was playing Call of Duty at the time. I played Modern Warfare
Yeah,
1, but
yeah.
no, I meant Modern Warfare.
Were
New
you on
Modern
that?
It's like no wonder, you know. He's been playing
But yo, that
12
explains
years.
a lot.
No. I've been playing for like 1 year now.
Okay, I
Almost-
got you.
almost
I
a
got
year.
you.
Okay, so for Garrison, I guess some of my movement on Garrison. I mean, it's every map is different. I just kind of maybe you guys do this too, but I kind of have. It's good to watch the mini map, have a sense of where the enemy is gonna be, and you always want to kind of predict their routes. The more you play with certain people, you can also like kind of predict how they play.
Yeah.
The best. I mean, like I can't stress it enough. If you can get into an engagement where they don't see you and you see them, that should be your #1 priority. But I mean, a lot of times, especially in Call of Duty, you're not going to have that luxury. You're going to have to face off against somebody. But when that happens, be ready for that too. You know. So part of like navigating throughout the map is doing so in a way that's going to set you up to have as many engagements where you're the one who sees them first as possible. So what I mean by that is kind of predict when someone's gonna come, and you gotta remember in this game there's a hella peeker's advantage. Okay, so believe it or not, it benefits you to be the one pushing the attack, than be the one sitting back and pre-aiming. Not so much in Cold War as it was in Modern Warfare, but still, I mean, the peeker's advantage is present. Okay, so say for this hill right here, this is P3, right? So if I'm holding this hill, especially if I'm alone, and the enemy team spawning from over here, I know that someone's gonna be over here. I know someone might come through here, and those steps right there. So what I'm probably gonna do is I'm gonna hover in this door here. That way I have a direct line of sight to that head glitch over there. Anyone who comes over here, if I get if it's too much, I can immediately fall back into here, and then they can't see me. And I can either push out through here and come out laterally, or I can hit that head glitch right there. Yeah, I'll be off the hill, but being off the hill just for a few seconds in order to save your life is better than dying and having to run all the way back.
Yeah, having
right?
to spawn out and shit, right?
So you just gotta know when to play your life, and when it comes to playing your life, positioning yourself in the best way so that you can do that the most easily. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's that, especially, and then there's this. They're gonna come out of HVAC too. So doing this is, if you anticipate them coming, this is a spot you have to. I mean, you have to slide cancel, right? Don't ever just peek out like this, because when I come around that corner to push this hill, I am literally like walking, aiming right there. Okay, just in case someone does that.
Yo, Grim, I've peeped a lot of pros lay right here too. What's up with that? I don't feel like this is a good spot.
What that is just unexpected. That's what I would call that an off angle, and playing off angles is huge too. Playing an angle. That's
Yeah, like if everyone watches right here, right? So like when you come around from here, that's the first place you're kind of gonna be. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
If I come out of the door, if I come out right here, I can see that head glitch, but I cannot see you laying down over there. So I'm assuming if no one's there, my first instinct is gonna be I'm gonna take this advantage and I'm gonna run and then try to rush them. And as soon as I start running and I clear that door, then I see you, but you're already aiming over here. You're pre-aiming. That split second where you have that advantage is all it takes for me to lose my life right there. So I mean that's a really good example of one off angle. But playing off angles just anywhere you can possibly find them. That just needs to be something you add to your toolkit.
Yeah.
That is something I use a lot as well, especially for someone who plays SMG, or if you're a hill player and you're like the only one on hill. You have to be able to set yourself up in ways that your enemies who are going to be pushing your hill in 2s, 3s, 4s sometimes are not going to expect it. Okay.
Right.
And then that's another thing. If they come all in a big wave, pick one off and run. All right, and then pick another one off and then reposition.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, single them out.
Don't expect to just. Don't even ever expect to just take all of them out in one, one
you're gonna get traded. You're gonna get.
None of us are scum.
I'm not saying it hasn't happened. I can do that sometimes, but it's never my plan. If it works out, then it works out, and it's good for me. But I never expect that. I pick 1 or 2 off, maybe do some damage, throw a stun. That was sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I was like instinct. And then I move away. Get off the hill for a second. Make them come pursue, right? If you can get someone to pursue, then you can do the double dip technique. I'm telling you. Okay?
Yeah.
Have them chase you, come around a corner, and then just come back out, right? And then once you get their buddy, it's a lot of people sometimes they'll come into a hill.
Radars.
They'll come into a hill with two of them, right? One guy will go pursue you. The other guy's like, oh, he's gonna go get him. All right, I'm gonna just stay here and hold the hill. You actually didn't go very far. You come out, kill the first guy, and then the other guy who got comfortable when he shouldn't have, you know, then you take him out. You got the hill again, right?
Yeah.
So it's all about that. And then if you're playing, if you're not playing an OBJ role where you guys, your team broke the hill, you have the hill. Now it's time to push out again. Then you have to find what's the best way. You gotta think about cuts too. You know, does anyone not know what a cut is?
No, I don't know what a cut is.
I don't know what a cut is either.
Okay, so every map is more or less designed with the same basic principle in mind. There are different lanes, usually usually three, maybe one or less or more lanes to go about going through the map. So take this map for instance. You have mid, you have green side, and then you have the plateau side. Right? Those are the three main lanes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when it comes to hills, each hill has different sets of spawns for both teams. So if your team gets the hill, has control, the entire enemy team has to reset. You're expecting them to start coming their way over here. You want to go out somewhere, push yourself in a way that you're gonna catch them on the transit over here. So that's called watching a cut. Okay?
Oh yeah.
Because you are
that's
literally
like-
cutting the lane in half and watching that. Okay? So you watch those cuts. Watching cuts is something ARs primarily are the ones supposed to do.
Yeah.
Because they have the most reach, you know, they can reach out and touch someone from real far away. But it's something that I do a lot as a main SMG. I usually don't one cut though. I'll like secure cut, spawn. You know, you don't ever want to kill somebody and then stay there so long that they come back and find you in the same place you killed them. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Oh, I
can.
didn't know you can make that jump. What the fuck? You need to be on the fast more. Go ahead. I'm listening.
I mean that's pretty much it. In terms of watching cuts, yeah. So that's a big thing. So if your team can not only hold the hill, but also watch the cuts, then what that's doing is making it so that the enemy team has an entire additional layer of defense to get through before they even get to the hill. Okay, so it's just projecting that power outwards so that the security of the man on the hill is stronger. You're making the OBJ's life a lot easier, you know. So that's something that you need to work out with your team. It's not one thing I can really teach everybody. It just comes down to chemistry and how well you guys work together. And we'll get it down for sure. Knowing your roles, you got to know what your roles are. Everyone can't be doing the same thing, or you know, there's certain roles that you shouldn't be left unattended. It's big. It's big stuff. Does anyone have?
I'm a huge OBJ guy. That's what I like to play.
Yeah.
Get to the hill.
Yeah. When it comes to the hill, though, I noticed this a lot with the teams that I was playing against during tryouts, is that they would leave their backs open too much. So a lot of times, especially in the beginnings of the hill, if your team has the hill, you gotta watch that flank. You gotta watch the rear, okay? Because there's gonna be guys trying to flank, like me, who are gonna try to flank you. But after the time's kind of soaked up, and then one at a time, people are rotating to the next hill, and there's only like maybe one or two. Then it's kind of up to that last one or two guys to kind of like cover all the bases, right? You can't just watch the front and the left. You have to watch front, left, right, and back. You know, and that just comes down to game sense, game knowledge, just familiarity with different routes people take. Spawn knowledge is fucking huge. That's honestly, to me, that's the thing that I struggled with the most in competitive, was learning spawns. But that's my best piece of advice is just pay attention when you're playing, and you'll kind of see where they're spawning from, and then do that every single time you play that map on the rotation. You'll get a better idea of where they spawn. Even if you can't explain it, you'll be able to intuitively predict where people are coming from, and if you can tell, if you know where an enemy's coming from, you know which cut you need to watch to meet him whenever he's transitioning to that, trying to push that hill. Okay.
You can usually tell where he's spawning from just by like where your teammates are positioned on the map and where they're pushed up at.
Yeah,
as well.
and keep an eye on that too. That's something that everyone should be doing, no matter what role you play. Is you need to be watching the minimap to see how many enemies you see are being engaged by your teammates, how many of your teammates are alive, and every single time you kill someone, you need to count. That's 1, 2. I don't know if you guys hear me in comms when you're playing on my team. I say that's 1 dead, that's 2 dead, 3 dead. I say that, right?
Yeah.
Because that'll give you an idea. If you don't know where anyone is, but if I say 3 dead, then you only have to look for 1 person, right?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
That comes down to knowing how many guys you're killing and keeping your eye on the kill feed as well to see how many enemies are dying, how many of your teammates are dying. If you can identify that, okay, I've killed 2 guys, oh, and I see 2 enemies who I didn't kill on the kill feed, that's all 4 dead, then you guys can just let down your guard for just a split second, move and position yourself better, okay? It's like just fighting for that wiggle room, using that time that it's going to take for them to come all the way back to your advantage. So
Yeah.
that's something you need to be doing. Every single one of us should be counting kills.
Counting kills, yeah.
Yeah, man. Does anyone have any questions at all?
Not so far.
Yo, when you count them, do you like count your own or do you count like everyone's together?
Okay, obviously it's the,
That's kind of what I was-
easiest thing to count your own, right?
Yeah.
I don't have to look for that. Okay, I don't have to try to analyze the game feed. I don't have to try to analyze
Yeah, so
the
you
map.
just say like I got 2 and someone else got 2. That's all of them, right?
Yeah, right. So
Okay,
there's a lot of different ways you can identify how many of them are dead. I mean, real simple and easy ways, just opening your touch screen and seeing the scoreboard, seeing who's got a skull by their name, right? But
Yeah.
that's even though that's easy and I'll give you the answer, it is putting a scoreboard in your face. Okay, if on the off chance there's only 3 dead and 1 still alive, and you pop up on that scoreboard and that 1 guy comes in front of you and catches you slacking, it's over, right? So
Yeah.
you gotta kind of have to like just be flexible with it. Okay, I killed 2.
Oh, and like communicate. Like if your team knows that like you're the last one alive, they should tell you.
Yeah,
But
they
you
should
should
tell you.
also.
And I definitely have done that for you guys in the past. If I say if I die and I notice that the two others of us are dead and I only see 1 guy on the field, I'll tell that guy, hey, play your life, okay? We're on our
Yeah.
way, right?
Yeah, maybe right.
Yeah. Because the worst thing about dying is the time it takes to get back into the fight. That time it takes that's not a little deal. That's a huge deal because that's free time that the enemy gets to sit in hill uncontested, right?
Yeah.
So, playing your life, keeping longevity in mind, okay? Even if you're not killing them, if you're keeping them at bay, stressing them out, that's better than being dead and having to run all the way back, okay?
Yeah.
Of course, the better you get at gunfighting, and like I said, gunfighting has 2 parts. There's offense and defense on your part, right? Shooting and moving. The better you get at gunfighting, the easier it's gonna be because you're naturally gonna be spending less time running back to the fight because you're winning those gunfights. So first and foremost, we should be trying to win our gunfights, and then secondly is game sense, map awareness. Just these skills to keep in mind when you're moving around on the map because everything matters.
Yeah.
Taking out trophy systems when you see them, stunning.
Are you allowed? Right.
And
Go
also
ahead.
dropping trophies as well.
Yeah, drop
Yeah,
trophies.
we were really bad at that.
I was pretty good. I didn't have a problem with that because I was dropping trophies as much as I possibly could. So I didn't struggle with that one. The thing is, I guess one thing I had a huge complaint about in Modern Warfare was that a lot of my teammates did this. They didn't do this one thing. They just didn't understand. If we're all dead and the enemy's on the hill, dude, we need to be nade spamming that hill like to death. Because I don't know if you remember, but the trophy systems in Modern Warfare only had 3. They only had 3 shots.
Yeah.
So we need to nade spam. Whether you have to throw a smoke grenade, a fucking flashbang, or if you have to throw your goddamn syringe at them. Fucking throw something because you got to get that trophy system out of there and then just continue using that hand artillery to get them off the hill. Same thing in Cold War. That's why it's more important now to if you see a trophy system and can afford to take it out, do so. All right.
Yeah.
Um,
Because isn't it 6?
Wait, you can.
How many does it stop?
I don't know. I swear to God, it stops like unlimited. I think, in my opinion.
I think it's just a time limit.
Yeah, it's just a time limit. That's another good
Let's try it.
point.
Let's try it.
I just remember. Yeah.
No, it's
Yo, Grim, did I make that in the hole, bro?
3,
I didn't check.
4.
Uh,
I took 4.
That was about 4.
Alright, let's try it again.
So that's another thing. So obviously in comp, there's no UAVs or field mics or anything. So the only way an enemy is gonna know where your position on the minimap is if you fire your gun. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll have situations where I'm playing around and I so far I'm undetected. I haven't shot my gun, but I see a trophy system where I don't want a trophy system to be, and I have to take it out from a range, and I can't just go up to it and punch it. Then I have to take it out. I don't have a lot of time, and I have to make that split-second decision. Okay, I'm gonna shoot it. I shoot it. It's gone. But now on the mini-map, I have to immediately, become aware of that fact, and then move myself accordingly. Okay, so don't just shoot a fucking trophy system or anything
stay
at all
there.
and think that no one's gonna notice. Because I promise you, okay,
Yeah.
there's hardly any fucking potatoes playing competitive. Okay, everyone's goddamn like cold as shit. Okay, they're gonna notice the smallest things. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I got you.
Even if you like destroy it by hand, like the game tells you they destroyed your trophy
Yeah,
system.
that too. So you have to keep in mind. You have to know what information you're feeding the enemy, at the same time trying to get as much information yourself as possible. Okay.
Yeah.
Know what you give, know what you get. Okay. Because if you know what they're getting, you can kind of predict what their actions are going to be based on the intel they have, and if you can predict them, then you can set yourself up in a way that's going to be able to counter that prediction.
Yeah.
That also means knowing spawns.
Yeah, knowing spawns is huge. Okay, the faster you can learn these fucking spawns, honestly that's gonna be the fastest improvement in your gameplay that you're gonna see. Is like if you can fucking memorize these spawns as fast as possible, you're gonna see. Yeah, the game's gonna be instantly easy for you. Okay, it's probably not gonna happen just because it's so damn hard. But if that's what everyone should be trying to do. I'm still trying to do it too. I've got a great idea so far, but still, I mean, there's still shit I don't know. There's still shit that fucking surprises me. So yeah.
That's why Modern Warfare was so trash.
We can run 4v4, bro.
Yeah, I
look at
really
that,
have
right?
to use the bathroom, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. You guys want to stay in here, stay in here. If not, I'll be right back.
Alright, cool.
Damn, bro, I got to relearn this shit again, bro.